Hey, welcome back. I'm going to be discussing and describing the three layers within the Bitcoin network.
So the base layer, layer 1 in Bitcoin, is mainly used for transacting and settlement purposes. It includes a public ledger of Bitcoin. It can't be changed, it's immutable, it's trustworthy, it cannot be tampered with. So all of the attributes of a blockchain applies to this same public ledger in the Bitcoin network. It involves network nodes that are used for verifying and validating transactions under this proof of work consensus mechanism, for committing new blocks, verifying new blocks before they actually get committed onto the public ledger. It's been launched in 2009, so it's been around for 15 years. It's quite new, but it's growing. But what are the issues of layer 1? Well, firstly, it's very slow speed. It takes up to 10 minutes for a brand new block that contains the new Bitcoin transactions to take effect on the public ledger. So it's quite slow, and it has high transaction costs. So these are the main two issues on the Bitcoin layer 1. Layer 2, now these are what I call the software protocols. So these are the software components that make certain improvements on the Bitcoin layer 1. So it addresses the issues of the slow speed, so it replaces that with much faster processing speed and lower transaction costs. And achieves this efficiencies by processing transactions off the chain, so off the layer 1. It then transfers back to layer 1 for final settlement. So what are the examples of these layer 2 protocols that sit on Bitcoin? Well, these are noted here. You've got the Lightning Network, the Liquid Network, and the OmniLayer. So these are three most famous software protocols. So let's move on to protocol examples. So you've got the Lightning Network, which is really used for fast, smaller value micropayments. It also has fast transaction confirmation. So rather than 10 minutes, which is happening on the layer 1, they occur in a matter of seconds, up to a minute. It also has very low transaction fee, which is very different from layer 1. It's really costly and expensive in comparison, and it handles and supports micropayments even down to the nth decimal place of a Bitcoin. So you can see the possibilities under this Lightning Network for mainly e-commerce, if you like buying a book or grocery shopping online via Lightning Network. That will be a perfect vehicle for that. Another example of a layer 2 is what we call Liquid Network, and it's mainly used for traders and crypto exchanges, so for swapping tokens from one token to another. It also, as with Lightning Network, it supports fast processing and settlement of Bitcoin and US Tether transactions. It's also governed by a federation of 57 crypto platforms, as having greater momentum. As with the Lightning, it also has confirmation speed up to around from anywhere from a few seconds to a minute, and also has very low transaction fees, a fraction of a cent. So the Liquid Network is an alternative Lightning Network. They pretty much act the same thing, but in addition to retail small value transactions that happen faster and cheaper, it's mainly used for traders and crypto exchanges. And then finally, OmniLayer. It's actually, you can think of it as a place for creating and selling new tokens or custom tokens, or what we call here crypto coins and assets on the OmniLayer. It's one of the oldest layer 2 projects out there. It's known as Mastercoin, and it currently has over 800 custom coins and tokens, and it facilitates trading among asset issuers and with BTC and US Tether. So think of OmniLayer as a place, as I said, for creating those new NFTs and custom tokens on the Bitcoin network. So it's just another use case on top of the part of the Bitcoin network itself. And then finally brings us to layer 3. Now, for me personally, in comparison with the other two layers underneath, layer 3 is where we're going to see the greatest opportunity, because this is the place where you're going to have a lot of apps that the end user are going to be able to see, touch and download onto their smartphones, for example, or onto their laptops, and to be able to transact through it on a day-to-day basis. It's going to be much more intuitive, and it's going to be more fluid. There's going to be an awful lot of applications at this layer 3, precisely because it's where the end user is mainly going to interface and transact their day-to-day transactions through the Bitcoin network at this layer 3. So it's a tremendous opportunity.
Bitcoin layered model, because it is a rapidly growing ecosystem. It's currently
$2 trillion worth, broken down into 3 layers, describing the purpose of each of these layers in the Bitcoin network itself to enrich the value proposition that it provides. Because at the end of the day, it caters for different kind of use cases that are being built on top of the base layer 1, is to have a segregated set of layers that are droppable in nature, but whilst leaving the base layer 1 to be purely a settlement layer for those high premium transactions, and within which you can store your Bitcoin holdings in your hardware wallets at the base layer directly if you so wish, which is ultimately how I'm going to be using it. I'm not going to be concerned on using the layer 2, 3 or 4 at the moment. I may decide to use part of that moving forward, but in the long term, the next 10 years, I'm going to be really sticking my holdings directly on the base layer 1, which is where the $2 trillion plus investment is held within that layer 1. That's all I have for you for today. If you value clarity on Bitcoin, blockchain technology and real assets tokenization, stay alert. Subscribe and enable all notifications to stay ahead of the curve. Share this episode with those who need to understand what's coming, friends, family and colleagues. This channel aims to deliver insight, no noise and no hype. Subscribe now.